Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to another video. Today it is literally going to be a full run through day in a life, daily routine, call it what you want, in absolute detail, basically 8 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. It's kind of how we have been living for the last year in our third lockdown. Well, basically nearly a year full of lockdown. Let's get straight into this. So the way our days basically work, we wake up, we go into the birds' room. Now they have blackout curtains in there, which we draw very slowly and then give them time to actually come out. Just like me, just like you don't actually want to get out of bed the moment your eyes are open. So they take their time, anywhere between kind of 5 to 30 minutes. During this time, we venture downstairs because we desperately need a coffee and have to start their breakfast. Now, an average breakfast for Mikey and Mia is usually around 10 to 15 fresh veg and fruit every single day. Always a whole lot more veg than fruit, and these ingredients do vary day by day. On the menu today, we do have coriander, cucumber, red cabbage, green pepper, yellow pepper, red pepper, courgette, couple of grapes, a green bean, a little bit of broccoli, a few blueberries, bird's eye chili, and then we move on to the sweet potato, the squash, and the carrot. Now these here can't be digested by birds, so we nuke them very slightly. We throw them in the microwave. They go in for about a minute, and once they do come out, they're a whole lot softer, and they go straight into the manual food processor. And once that's got a bit of a twirl, the lid opens up, and oh wow, doesn't that just look delicious? Poured straight into a beautiful teacup. In total, this is probably about 3 large, maybe 4 tablespoons for the both of them. So not a whole lot, but enough to fill up their crop for the day. The bowls are washed and put into their holders, and then we go back into the aviary and see if they are ready to come out. Yes, they are. That's always a good thing. They are straight out, where they get a morning kiss just because they are good, and straight into our room they go. And then their bowls get filled, starting with Mia, and then a little bit for Mikey. And they literally get straight into this. Now this is absolutely amazing to feed your birds. So if you guys do have birds, definitely get them on a diet like this. Majority veg, tiny bit of fruit. As you can see, our guys absolutely love it. And while the birds are eating, we usually chill out. Mummy Human just kind of sits in bed and reads her book. She likes her books. Where I kind of hang out, check notifications, enjoy my coffee. And it's time for preening. Now, it's usually Mia that does all the work. Mikey kind of just sits there and lets Mia do her thing all over his face and body. She sometimes does get distracted though, where she'll kind of hold his head. He doesn't really know what's going on. It's a bit weird. They move into a weird 69 position. We don't really know what they're doing. They seem to know. But sometimes things don't go well and they'll start fighting. Mikey chooses not to preen Mia, so Mia ends up having to cuddle her own head, but she doesn't mind it. Once they're done preening each other, they jump into bed for a quick preen with us. It's lovely how they do still enjoy our cuddles as well as their own. After that, it's definitely cleaning time. Now, if you have birds, you know they poo everywhere. There will be a lot of poo all over your floor. That has to be cleaned. We get baby wipes. We scoop up each individual poo first. Once those are done, obviously the whole room needs to be swept. It's around 8:45 in the morning of a lockdown and we're already up cleaning. It's not ideal, but it's bird life. After the room is clean, it is shower time. Now the birds love to join us in the shower. They really enjoy the steam, the warmth. There's something about it, even if they're not getting wet themselves. So we basically put them up on the rail. It's time to get naked. That's what you do in the shower. You can't shower with clothes. And then it's time for a screaming competition. Straight after the shower, they're back in to eat the food they forgot to eat, and then it's checking out the weather to make sure it is okay to go outside for their daily fly, which we'll always do as long as it's not pissing down with rain or the winds are too strong. But before that happens, of course, we have to clean once again. Now it's probably around 11 o'clock in the morning, and the mess that was there 2 hours ago is back, if not more. After a few sweeps, we get our jackets on and it's time to head to the park. But just before we do, we just need to say thank you to Ridge Wallet, who is the sponsor of this video. Check this bad boy out. Carbon fiber, absolutely gorgeous. They hold up to 12 cards, including cash. They have over 30,000 5-star reviews, and they are so confident you are going to fall in love with this thing, they will actually give you a 45-day trial. That's right, if you do not like it, send it back with a full refund. If you do want your own Ridge wallet, you'll get 10% off with our code below, ridgewallet.com/Mikey the Macaw. Link will be in the description. Back to the video. Now, when we arrive at the park, Mikey is always super excited. His eyes always pin. He's a very, very happy, excited bird in normal life, so when things like going to the park happens, he gets even more excited. We usually just set them off, and they can really just do what they want. Check out Mikey flying here. It's like he's some sort of fish wiggling his tail like he's in the ocean or something. Super weird. Mia, as you know, always elegant as ever, and we do this as much as we possibly can. I'm gonna say on average, maybe 6 out of 7 days a week if the weather is good. These guys absolutely love it. It keeps them so much happier and so much calmer. The amount of mental and physical stimulation that does go into this is absolutely crazy. And because we literally have just been sitting around all year doing nothing, we love to run with the birds. Running with Mikey is the coolest thing ever. He loves to actually kind of slow down. He gets as close as he can to our heads, his eyes pin, he starts squawking in midair because he's so excited. It's literally the coolest thing, and even seeing a bird that kind of close flying is kind of buzzy and cool. It's good for him, it's good for us. Burn a couple of those lockdown calories, why not? Even though that this is something we do literally every single day. I mean, since Mikey started flying, we've probably been out on average 750-ish times. And every single time is, to this day, still as magical. We're still so happy every time we see them in the sky. You can really, really tell their excitement and the fact they do feel free. It really is an incredible feeling both ways. It's not always about flying. There's got to be cuddles somewhere. Mikey does like to preen my nose now and then. That kind of, it feels weird, but nice. And today he actually dropped a feather. Whoever wants this feather, you guys can actually have it. Just comment, I want that feather. Within 2 days, we'll do a random draw on Instagram Live, and that feather will be yours. Now, after they've done a couple of flies, we basically just focus on a bit of trick training and stuff like that. You know, they love to work for their nuts. As you just saw, they just had a huge bowl of chop each, and they are still gonna go absolutely nuts for their nuts because they not only love nuts as their favorite food, but their bodies need nuts. So that's why we basically reserve them for training, so they can really work for them. And they do, and they enjoy it. After the flight today, we headed to the grocery store as we did need groceries. Now we bring the birds to the front of the car so they're not stuck in the back. Mummy Human goes into the grocery store, and then there's me, having to entertain these guys for like 20 minutes as they scream at every pigeon and person that goes past. Now, having these guys in the front of the car is actually super entertaining to watch. They literally love to explore. Mia just loves to try and adjust the rear view mirror. I'm not sure what she's doing. She loves the steering wheel, climbing up it, climbing down it, and just kind of exploring the car in general. Mikey's a bit more calm in this sense. He'll kind of sit there, he'll preen now and then, but he also does like that dashboard. Mia always tries to use it as a beak sharpening tool. It's super weird. I don't really think that's gonna work. But apart from that, they're pretty chilled. Mia sometimes does try and turn the lights on in the car. She does succeed. It's quite an enjoyable time just to really give them some sweet cuddles. They can chill out after their fly. They even preen each other now and then. There's some head scratches. There's a foot check. Then there's Mia wondering what that warm air is coming out of the AC. She's very clever. She knows how to open this thing. She'll even kind of direct it to her to keep herself warm. She's super smart. Where Mikey, for example, he kind of looks at it like, who is in there blowing in my face? Maybe he thinks it's a person. Who knows? As they end up getting bored, they start trying to eat the camera lens, and luckily enough, Mummy Human does come back to save us by a new camera. Back in their carrier they go, and off home. Now, as we get home, they are very, very thirsty. This is literally what happens every day. Straight home, straight to the kitchen, straight to the water. They love it. After that, we've kind of had enough of them, and it's time for them to go into their room and just have some alone time. Well, leave us to have some alone time, I guess. But they enjoy it. They get to preen, hang out, play with toys, while we'll actually try and get some work done. Now, through this lockdown, we're currently working about 6 to 8 hours a week. It's not crazy, a couple of hours a day, and it's a lot easier to do without the birds distracting us. After work's done, there is more cleaning to be done. There is always cleaning to be done. Now this door, we do our best to tackle it at least once a week on top of a bunch of other stuff that we have to do, and it is disgusting. We have to literally spray that thing down and give it a massively, massively good scrub. The door handle is absolutely disgusting. The amount of times we've got poo on our hands from that is crazy. But once it is super clean and super shiny, it's so rewarding. I mean, you guys have to try it one day. Seriously, come round and help us clean this store. It'll be the greatest thing. While we're doing this, the birds are kind of hanging out in their aviary. They're playing with toys, they're chilling out, climbing around, enjoying themselves. Meanwhile, back inside, we do the front of the door. The front and the back now is super clean, and we are very happy about this. From there, we take the birds back into the shower because it's around this time where we'll try and be as productive as possible, so we might even clean the aviary. Now, we give it a sweep every couple of days, and we do a full floor change every week or two. Now, sweeping the aviary is basically just a bunch of feather dust. There is a lot of dust and broken toys and stuff like that. While we're in there, we'll find toys that are relatively new that haven't been played with and move them around or attach them to other kind of half toys and move them to areas where the birds do play with the toys. Toy placement's actually a huge thing. From there, a new floor goes down. These things are super convenient and very cheap. They're like £3.50 from Wix. Honestly, I can't recommend them enough. Super easy to clean, super easy to put down. After that, we kind of hang out with the birds a bit more. We will usually have a cuddle of some sort. He'll usually eat my mouth like it's a beak, and then we'll make some weird sounds together. While this is happening, Mia's sitting on Mummy Human's head. She enjoys to preen there. Around this time, we're pretty bored, so we'll probably just head downstairs and watch a movie or something like that. Usually the birds just sit with us pretty peacefully. They're happy to just chill out on us and watch a movie. As the day goes into the evening, we're looking maybe around 6-7 o'clock. It's time to weigh up their food and give them their dinner, which they are currently having pellets at the moment, 35 grams each. Now, we've actually recently moved on to pellets over the last few months. We used to feed them strictly just fruit and veg, which is always raw, but we're trying something different, seeing how it goes. So far, no complaints. These guys are pretty happy with their chop in the morning, their nuts and seeds when they're training, and their pellets at dinner time. After that, I'll try and do something on my computer, whether it's editing videos or something else. Mikey will try and bite my neck until he's bored and then fly off to the door frame. Usually around that time, he'll start jabbering on. This evening, he decided to repeat, "Come on," and step up over and over again.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. Come on. Step up. Step up.
From there, him and Mia get a little bit cozy again. It's kind of cute. Their relationship's grown so much over the last couple of months. It's really adorable how they just really get along and how they have each other. But they are ridiculously dramatic. They're fine, they really are. And they love to play out scenes from movies like The Lion King. After that, it's a little bit more cuddling, and yes, as you did guess it, a little bit more cleaning as well. There is a lot more poo on the ground, there is a lot more food on the ground, so all of that has to be scrubbed and cleaned once again. All the feathers that have molted have to be picked up as well, and of course that whole room does need to be swept. While this is happening, Mikey's just chilling out on his perch, enjoying his fresh water, and we get straight into some playtime before bed. Now, these guys love to run around on the stairs and the floor. There is something about these birds, when they're on the floor, they just get so excited, probably more excited than when they're in the sky. It's weird, I don't get it, it's crazy, but that's what they love to do. It's usually just Mikey running back and forth and Mia basically following him and trying to pick up weird stuff in her path, and it's like they've never seen the ground before. It's super adorable, and they get a great leg workout, which is always good. No one can miss leg day. And they just kind of look like little dinosaurs that are just charging towards you. Mia usually loves to roll upside down around times like this. She loves a good cuddle from Mummy Human. She just kind of acts like a silly little puppy. It's absolutely adorable. She'll kind of turn around, then she'll run around doing a weird little dance, and then straight back on her back she goes to repeat. While Mikey's basically just pacing back and forth like the crazy bird he is. He runs under my crotch to see if he can build a nest. That's super weird and very dangerous. They really have a lot of fun, and honestly, just the sound their feet make as they are running that pitter-patter on hard floors, it's even more hilarious. But seriously, check this out. As you probably noticed, Mikey is far more heavy-footed than Mia. As time goes on, it is time for them to get ready for bed, so they basically walk themselves up the stairs. Again, adorable. We just crack up laughing every single time this happens. It's so great. Even after seeing this, you know, every couple of days or so, it's still so hilarious. They get a treat for being good birds. They'll hang out on the door frame while they finish that treat, just a cheeky hazelnut now and then. Right before bedtime, they do get a little bit silly. Mia kind of hangs on frames, and Mikey dances like he's in a weird club of some sort. I don't know what he's doing. He's a very, very strange bird. He's always been a strange bird, but we love him dearly. After his dance, he'll start barking like a dog. And about now, you're coming close to around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. It is time for their bed. They're standing on one foot. They're looking slightly fluffier than normal. Their heads are slowly sinking in. They're grinding their beaks. It is time for them to say goodnight. So we basically take them straight back into their aviary. Mikey sleeps on a perch. Mia sleeps on a rope wheel next to him. We draw down the blackout curtains. We close the door. And that is the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it very much. Like, subscribe, all that crazy jazz. And we will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.